Hi friends, my name is Katie. Welcome back to my channel, Life Between Words. It's beautiful here in Wisconsin. It's so beautiful. Spring has finally sprung and I have my inaugural sunburn. I don't know if you can tell, but I am pretty burned. But you know what? It happens every year. The first time I go out in the sun for any amount of time, I just burn like a tomato. But I feel good. I feel so good. I'm so glad that it's warm and sunshiny. I love the beginning of summer. I'm here today for another Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Ginger Reads Laney, but it's now being hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. This week's theme is books that you are intimidated by. Tonight is a busy night, so let's just get down to it. These are in no particular order, by the way. These are just the top 5 books off of my shelf that I really want to read, but I am slightly intimidated by. Number 5, It by Stephen King. This is about a group of kids who are being terrorized by some sort of monster that takes the form of whatever they're most afraid of. I think. I could be wrong. First of all, it's huge. I mean, look at this sucker. This thing is massive. It clocks in at 1,376 pages, and actually, big books don't necessarily intimidate me. I like big books, but the fact that it's horror and a big book is kind of intimidating to me because I don't know how scared I'm gonna get reading this. One of the things I wanted to point out in it, because I just love it so much, is the inscription that Stephen King writes. He dedicates it to his mom, his wife, and his kids. And after he names his kids, he says, "Kids, fiction is the truth inside the lie, and the truth of this fiction is simple enough. The magic exists." I can't stand it when people say that fiction is a waste of time or that you don't learn anything from fiction. It's so not true. Fiction is the truth inside the lie. I love that so much. And it makes me really excited to read this book, actually, as much as I'm intimidated by it. And I am. I mean, this thing's huge and probably scary. It intimidates me, the scare factor. Number 4, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This is a classic that I've never read and I really, really want to read it. I've heard so many good things about Anna Karenina. I know so many people who love it. The reason I'm intimidated by Anna Karenina is it's translated from Russian and I feel like the translation needs to be great. Do any of you guys worry about translation? Like what translation? I end up doing so much research and I just get bogged down by all the research I do about what translation I read, and at the end of the day I should probably just pick it up because I can't imagine that there's actually a bad translation. I have done some research about the translation from this book though, and I know that the translators did this back in the early 20th century, so I already feel like the language is going to be a little dated. I've also read that Leo Tolstoy wrote it in sort of the Russian vernacular, and so I feel like you need to read it in a language that is easily accessible, and I don't know, I just don't know what translation is best. So, yeah. Number 3, Middlemarch by George Eliot. This is another classic that I'm really intimidated by. I actually know hardly anything about Middlemarch. Is it another cautionary tale? I know Anna Karenina is a cautionary tale. Is this another cautionary tale? This one I'm intimidated by because it's another really long book. This one is close to 800 pages. It's 785 pages. So, you know, I say I'm not intimidated by long books, but here I have picked out every long book off my shelf. So maybe I am intimidated by long books. I don't know. I'm nervous that it's gonna be dry. Yeah. It doesn't sound like it's gonna be great, guys, but I've heard that it is. So I guess I should trust the masses. Have you guys read this? What did you think of Middlemarch? Number 2, 1776 by David McCullough. So this is a nonfiction history book, obviously about the American Revolution. My grandfather is a history buff. Anyone else's grandfathers out there, history buffs? Seems like a grandfatherly thing. Anyway, I know he's read it, I know he loves it, and I love to read nonfiction books. I have not read a lot of straight history, so I am kind of intimidated. I think this one is pretty accessible, so I am looking forward to reading it, but it's never something that I'm like, ooh, I want to pick this up right now. I'm so ready to read it. I really do want to read it, but I am intimidated because I really haven't read a lot of history. So that's all I have to say about that. And number 1, Pioneer Girl by Laura Ingalls Wilder. This is the annotated autobiography of Laura Ingalls Wilder, and it's so beautiful, but this thing is so heavy. It covers my whole head and my neck, probably. I do have a feeling that while some of the stuff in here is going to be a gem, there are going to be some kind of boring parts, but I love it and I want to read it. I love Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I love to learn the real history behind it. Little House in the Big Woods took place here in Wisconsin, in Pepin, and when I read the books, my mom took me to Pepin and we visited the house, and it was wonderful. I love her. I love Laura Ingalls Wilder. I'm really looking forward to reading this book at some point, or even just perusing it, but I am pretty intimidated to pick it up. So yeah. If any of you have read those books and you can assuage my intimidation, I would love that. Or if you have some books that you're intimidated by, you can let me know in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm so glad that you stopped by again. I'm having so much fun doing BookTube, you guys. I can't believe I'm at 300 subscribers already. I mean, whoa. I just feel so overwhelmed and thankful, and I'm enjoying getting to know everyone so much, so thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye. Right now, it's more like a coffee table book because I'm so intimidated to read it, but one day